Right.
And Norman wouldn't join the cadets.
Oh, wouldn't he?
And they put a lot of pressure on him then in those days, but he still wouldn't join.
Right.
I can't think what happened. I was trying to think what he did. I think he had to do some voluntary work or something.
Very soon.
But he wouldn't join the cadets
Right.
because of his convictions.
I think it was also, I remember the story he told us that because the Victoria College all had to have a certain uniform and it had to be Harris tweed and whatever it was, which was tremendously expensive. But he and those who were fortunate coming from the same background as he managed to get a material that resembled Harris tweed, and they took the labels out of Harris tweed and sewed them inside the others because they had to line themselves up and open.
Oh no!
Oh yes, to determine whether they had the.
I mean, he was effectively he was an orphan at this stage at Victoria College, was
Yes.
Yeah.
So he financially.
He lived with his auntie, didn't it?
He lived with his aunt, and also his and didn't his grandparents. Also, his grandparents.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Much.
But financially, he must have been in poor circumstances.
Well, yeah.
But Norman, I can't remember, but he won a special scholarship, didn't he? Because there was 2 scholarships for the college. One was for members, to be there, but you had to buy your own books. But I think Norman's thing, his books were supplied.
Yes, I believe so.
With his exam, yeah. Clever man he was.
Clever, yes, indeed. It's strange. I mean, there isn't much with all the characters in Jersey history, the social history. There's very little written about people. There's very little on the record. So we have very little knowledge about Norman le Broch today and people like him. This is partly why we're recording you two gentlemen today. So there's something on the record. You were there. You were participating. And it's necessary that people know what happened as far as possible. But of course, we've lost an awful lot of the record, haven't we? We've lost people.
Of course, Norman was quite active in the occupation.
That's right.
And I can't think who it was, but there was a shop by the town hall, which done a library, and there were a lot of debts in the library. People were keeping the books. And Norman knew this chap, and he said, "I'll go and get the books." And he got a commission for getting them.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he went round all
Simple.
over the
Earned a
place.
few pennies.
And of course, he got involved with some of the German anti-Nazi people after the time of the explosion at the
Palace Hotel.
The Palace Hotel, yeah.
Well, it is. We're coming up. Tomorrow is Liberation Day again. That's you gentlemen will both be laying wreaths for your own. You've got your own personal reasons, Mike and Charlie. You'll be laying
a wreath on behalf of the Jersey Trades Council.
Trades Council,
which is no longer in existence. But I was chairman. And I
so it's a wreath to the Trades Council as well, in a sense.
Yeah. Well, Andy Bauer and John King used to lay the wreaths before that. I wasn't involved.
These were names again from Jersey's political past, because John Bauer and King.
Andy Bauer, yeah. Andy Bauer stood for election one time, and he was threatened with his job. We worked at the JC, and he was threatened to lose his job. And Andy and Norman and I think it was Lee, I'm not sure, went to see the bailiff, and the bailiff said they can't sack you until if you're elected and you can't do your job, it's a different question.
Right.
But being nominated, they couldn't sack you just being nominated, but they tried.
This is all part of the struggle which people don't know about, do they? You can read all this about United Kingdom, the history of working people in the United Kingdom, but it's not written up here. It's so sad, isn't it, that it isn't recorded.
I picked up a book on the occupation while I was here, written by John Nettles.
John Nettles, yeah.
Yeah, and the what he's got in there is very interesting indeed, and one of the more accurate descriptions of what took place. There's no judgmental thing in it. It's just sort of it's very interesting to read because all sorts of things happened, obviously, and people adopted certain stances depending on the circumstances in which they were, which could have been criticised from one side and supported from the other.
Right.
But when you look at it, you don't end up, if you didn't know anything about it, you end up with not knowing much more, but at least having a better idea of what was taking place and why.
We're going to stop there, gentlemen, because we'll run out of tape, but we'll try and catch you when you're doing your wreath laying, and for no other reason, put it on the record.
Okay.
Okay, see you again. Thanks for your time.